So I made a video this afternoon and, well, I attempted to make a video, but I aborted the mission because there were so many disturbing factors going on. For one, there was a lot of disturbing noises. Second, I was stumbling, trembling all over my own words. I couldn't get the sentences out straight. And then my housemate came home and so I was just like, screw it. So now I'm trying again, but I'm actually now talking about a different topic because I just don't want to talk about the same thing that I did this afternoon. I'm gonna have to make that video another time. Now we're gonna talk about friendships and friends and what all that's like when you're a nomad, a gypsy, someone who keeps moving from place to place. And it's a very valid question that I get asked a lot. People ask me a lot how I deal with friendships, how I meet people on the road, and if it's even possible to have deep connections and relationships to people as someone who, wanders around so much. And in my case, I've been living around the world in all these different places since I was a young teenager, since I was about 15 years old. And so I'm very much used to this. And also then as someone who I need connection in my life, like for me, friendships are so important. And I think that's a bit of a misconception that people have, that just because I'm a nomad and I move around so much that friendships aren't important to me. And it's the complete opposite. Is because I have this very nomadic life, friendships are even more important to me because they give me a lot of grounding. And no matter where I am, I strive connection and I need that connection. But I also have the feeling that some of you think I'm a bit lonely or I don't have enough friends, or because I'm not showcasing my friends on my videos so much or on my Instagrams or whatever. And that's not because I don't have enough friends, it's because my social media channels, they're not about my social life, they're about me, they're about you, they're about things I want to discuss. And even if I shoot daily vlogs about my daily life, I'm not so comfortable including people in my videos that are not so present on social media. And I have a lot of friends that are not bloggers, they're not on social media as much, and so that's one of the reasons. Sometimes there have been friends on my videos that where I know they feel comfortable, they're cool with being on camera, or in my Insta stories or whatever, and then I totally include them. But like I said, I'm just really respectful, and friendships are just incredibly important to me. I need that feeling of connections, like I need the air to breathe, that's for sure. But how do I do it? Moving from place to place, I mean, of course, friendships, they really need time, they need care, and that is something that is definitely a challenge. But nevertheless, it also makes me more mindful and conscious in the way that I deal with friendships. When you don't live in just one place for a long time, for years and years and years, it means that you really need to put more effort into the relationships that you want in your life. Because it's very easy otherwise for them to just disappear. I know that the people that I'm in touch with regularly, the people that I really call my friends, I know that they're really my friends, because I wouldn't choose to have people in my life if they didn't mean the world to me. I think the way I do friendship is kind of in 3 levels. So for one, I have friends that are in Germany. Some of them have been long-term friends that I've known for many, many years. And of course, this group of friends, it has changed over the years a lot. Of course, they changed because I'm away so much, but some of these friendships, they withstand time and distance, and it doesn't matter how long I'm gone. We always reconnect when I'm home, and that's really beautiful. So these friendships definitely exist, and they are very valuable to me. And some of these friends, they come and visit me around the world. Thank you, Light, for coming on, joining the show. Yeah, so some of them come and visit me around the world, and I try to be in Germany, you know, 2 times, 3 times a year for a few weeks. So I do try to consciously make an effort to spend frequent amounts of time in Germany to see my family and my friends, because they're very important to me, and I'd like to show that, and I'd like to work on that connection. So that's friends number 1. Then I have friends number 2, and I would call them my international friend network. These are friends that are all over the world, and I have met them all over the place, and I might have spent a certain amount of time with them where we went quite deep and connected really deeply. And these are people that I'm just in touch with no matter what, and we have regular Skype calls, and we WhatsApp, and we update each other, and like every once in a while we cross paths, or we, you know, plan a trip together to visit each other. And you know, I might not see them for a year or 2, but those friendships nevertheless are still super important to me and very meaningful to me, and I always know that I'm connected to them. That's amazing that they, like, in these times with the technologies that we have, that we can have these friendships, you know, with people that are really far away and that you can't see for a very long time, but we still can be so connected, and that's really, really beautiful. Level number 3 of friendships is the people that I have in a given place. So for example, I choose places quite consciously where I spend my time, especially longer periods of time. And for example, like here, I'm in Bali. Bali has been a home for me on and off for the last 2.5 years. And so I have friends here that live here permanently. I have other friends who come in and out of Bali a little bit like me. And so Bali for me is a place where it's quite easy to connect or reconnect with people, and also connect with new people. And so the same goes for a couple of other places around the world where I know when I go there, I know people there, I have friends there. And that's basically in the long run how I'd like to keep my life. I think the structure of my nomadic life is that I will have 2, 3, 4 home bases around the world where I have a network, a community of friends, where I know when I go there, I'm gonna feel connected. I don't necessarily really just travel for the sake of travel anymore very much. I mean, yeah, on and off I go on little trips and where I'm a tourist and where I stay in places for a few days here and a few days there. But overall, you know, in the last few years I've really slowed down, and I spend, you know, several months in a place. And one of the biggest reasons why I do that is because I need to feel connected, and the only way that these sort of connections can be really established and taken to a deeper level is by giving them time. And by having a place like here in Bali, for me, it means that I can cultivate those sort of relationships. And of course, one problem is that in a place like this, people come and go, it's very transient. And nevertheless, the longer I'm here, the more people I meet and the more friendships I can create and take on to a deeper level with people that have also been here for a longer time, and or other expats. You know, it also means that I have an amazingly interesting network of friends, and the friends that I do have are just such beautiful people and so dear to me, and really enrich my life and I enrich theirs, and we have really, really meaningful friendships, and distance really doesn't matter. I have some of the most amazing conversations through Skype or WhatsApp. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's the most amazing thing is when you're actually in person and you're together and you're spending quality time together. And so that's another thing that I do with friends, is that, you know, we either go on trips together for several weeks, or we end up living somewhere together and getting a house together and sharing, you know, a lot of time together. And that's super awesome quality time that usually you wouldn't have, you know, back home where everybody has their job and all their other commitments and stuff, and you maybe see each other for a coffee once, maybe twice a week. But with this lifestyle, it's really beautiful because, you know, even if it's just 2 weeks a year or 4 weeks a year that you can spend this really intense time with a really good friend of yours, that is worth so much and can take your friendship to a really beautiful level that's really deep, and that can make up for, you know, all the coffees that you might not have had in the year before. I think that that's how I do friendships. One last thing. In the end, I think if I think about my best friends, I think it's probably a handful. Like the people, you know, that you're like, and that's all we need. I don't need this huge amount of friends. I'm happy to know that these, you know, 4, 5, 6 people, they're there for me whenever. It's, you know, the ones that you really constantly connect with very frequently and regularly, which I have very frequent Skype calls and WhatsApp exchanges, and who I know I can call at any time of the day, or reach out for support. And that means the world to me. So it doesn't have to be, you know, this huge amount of people. Of course, I know a lot of people, but in the end, it's down to these people. In the end, you know, of course, we have to put in an effort into our friendships, and I have to make sure that I actively keep in touch with the people that are important to me, and I just do it. It just, yeah, of course, you know, I send these messages out, hey, you know, I'm thinking of you, how are you going? Or, I don't know, just sharing photos or just whatever it is, but to kind of make your friends feel like they matter to you and that you enjoy the connection. But it takes an effort, even if you live in the same city, than it does, you know, if you live thousands and thousands of miles apart. So the sad thing is that many people who discover the digital nomad lifestyle and they embrace it and they go out and they travel the world and, you know, build a successful online business. But one thing that some people really can't get their head around is, how do I not feel lonely? How do I feel connected? How do I have friendships that make me feel connected? And then some of these people, they return home because they miss their friends at home and their family so much, and that's totally cool. I mean, of course, that's a big thing, you know, and we really shouldn't underestimate having these people in our lives, especially as we try to have this very gypsy kind of lifestyle. But for me, I would like to find a nice balance. And over the years, you know, I've been at this, like I said, since I was a teenager. I've been a digital nomad for about 5 or 6 years, and over these years I have established quite a big network of other digital nomads, you know, where we share the same lifestyle and we keep crossing paths, and I have established this really pretty tight network of people that I know around the world. So of course it takes time, you know, in the first year or two. That wasn't the case for me either, and there weren't many co-working spaces or other digital nomads around. So whereas now in 2017 it's much easier to keep running into the same people in those digital nomad hotspots, as they say, and, you know, there's more infrastructure for us to be connected, and that's been definitely a huge game changer for me, but also for everybody else out there. A lot is changing and a lot is moving forward in the right direction, because, yeah, we need to realize that even though we enjoy having this lifestyle, we also want to feel like we're connected. And so I feel like it's this family of digital nomads is growing more and more, and that's a really beautiful thing. And that's it. I made it. I created a video even though I thought today wasn't the day, and I did it anyway because I was like, I have to make a video. So here we go, it's done. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd be interested to know how you, as maybe a frequent traveler or digital nomad, how you handle friendships, or maybe you have some, fears surrounding that, or have faced challenges. So please do share in the comment section below. Do like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye. Mwah.